It's preparing to live now.
Yes.
Namaskar, everyone. Good morning to all our viewers in India, and good evening to everybody in the United States. We welcome you to this Iyengar class, Yoga for the Heart, hosted by AAYM. We are midway through our series of classes, workshops, and webinars.
I think you have two devices on, so we are getting echoes from other ones. So can you just stop one?
How's this? Sound better?
Yeah.
Okay. So we welcome you to this Iyengar class, Yoga for the Heart, hosted by AAYM. We are midway through our series of classes, workshops, and webinars held as part of the International Yoga Conference hosted through the month of June on occasion of International Yoga Day. For our viewers that are joining us for the first time, I would like to take the opportunity to introduce you to AAYM. It's a nonprofit organization for physicians, researchers, medical professionals, and practitioners of yoga and meditation. The organization is dedicated to education and research in the field of yoga and meditation by fostering an interdisciplinary approach to linking science, arts, ethics, and spiritualism to improve ways of human life. Now, this particular class is Iyengar. It's a system of yoga known as Iyengar. It was created and developed over 75 years by Yogacara BKS Iyengar. In 1975, BKS Iyengar built the Ramamani Memorial Yoga Institute in Pune, where his family lineage and senior teachers continue to teach today. Iyengar Yoga is known for its focus on precision, timing, and the use of props, which were designed by Mr. Iyengar to help achieve support to the less flexible and extra extension to the more advanced students. Mr. Iyengar left this world at the age of 96 years old in August of 2019. His son and granddaughter continue his family legacy of teaching today. Joy has been a practitioner of Iyengar Yoga for 22 years and is a level 2 certified Iyengar Yoga teacher. She has a particular interest in how yoga can assist people following events of trauma and the benefits to women it provides during all the stages of their lives. Joy teaches weekly for a program called Hope Rises, a transitional living center for women entering society after prison, while also teaching regular classes on Zoom and 3 local studios in Central Arkansas. We welcome you, Joy, and now it's to you. Thank you.
Oh, sorry, Joy, we can't hear you.
Joy, you need to unmute. We are not able to hear you.
Can you unmute her, Ritishi?
Yeah, I'm.
Okay, can you hear me now?
Yes.
Excellent. We try again. Thank you, Leslie. Good morning or good evening. Namaskar to all of you. I'm so humbled and grateful to be with you today. I'm a longtime practitioner of the Iyengar method of yoga, and it is my hope today that I can serve as a conduit of the teaching methods that BKS Iyengar crafted and gifted to us through his lifetime of learning. So thank you for giving me your time and attention over the next hour. I've decided to focus today on chest opening poses and one of my favorite sutras, Sthira Sukham Asana. You will benefit most by using the following props for support: one chair, one block, one belt or strap, and one blanket. However, if you don't have these poses, I will do my best effort to demonstrate alternative ways to do the poses without support. I will also give alternative poses for the few inversions that I have planned. So if you're practicing with certain conditions which suggest that you stay upright, glaucoma, detached retina, high blood pressure, menstruation, etc., please pay attention to the alternatives that I demonstrate. I'd like to read a translation of Sutra 246 to start us off today from the book Light on the Yoga Sutras by BKS Iyengar. So please have a seat and sit upright. Sutra 246 in the Yoga Sutras defines what is asana and what are the effects. Sthira Sukham Asana. Asana is firmness and steadiness in the body, goodwill in the intelligence of the head, and awareness and delight in the intelligence of the heart. So let's see if we can practice these tenets of this sutra together today. We'll begin by sitting in Sukhasana. So easy seated pose. If this is not possible, you can sit in a chair. So cross of the shins, and let's create that firm base together. So take your hands. I'm going to ask you to take the root of the thigh on the back of the thigh and turn the thigh from the inside out. And then do the same thing on the other side. Take your hands to the buttocks flesh and pull the buttocks flesh back. Now you should feel your sit bones firmly pressing into the floor. And now take your hands behind you and press down to start to lift up through the side ribs. Roll your arms from the inner arms to the outer arms, just spread between the collarbones. And then see that the shoulders descend away from the ears. So now you're doing all of that work with the chest, but I'd like for you to soften the throat, soften the face, and when the face is soft, close the eyes. And now see if you can keep the lift of the chest as you bring the palms together at the heart. So we'll begin class with the sound of 3 Oms and the invocation to Patanjali. So take a deep breath in. Om. 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 Yogena chatasya padena vacham malam sharirasya chavaijakena yopa karutam pravaram muninam patanjalim pranjaliranatosmi abahu purushakaram shankachakra siddharinam Sahasra Shirasam Shvetam Pranamami Patanjalim Hari Om. With an exhalation, bow the head to the heart. Release the hands down, palms up. With the eyes closed, slowly lift the head and open the eyes. Okay, we'll begin by standing. So please stand on your mat. Have a chair, if you have it, on the back left side of your mat. And if you choose, use a block for standing poses, then have that in front of the seat of the chair. Stand in the middle of your mat. You can have your feet hip width apart or feet together, either way. Let's create that firmness in the body that starts with the base. So spread the toes, turn your heels out slightly, lift the kneecaps up to firm the legs, and then roll from your outer thighs to the inner thighs. And do that strongly enough until you feel some compactness in the hips. Now we have our firm base, which allows us to then extend the side ribs, roll the shoulders back, and extend down through the fingertips. Tadasana, mountain pose. Now from here, we'll go into our first standing pose, Utthita Trikonasana, extended triangle. So I'm going to ask you to bend deep and step or jump your feet apart. Nice wide stance. Just take your hands to the waist to begin and turn your left toes in and the whole right leg out. So let's build that stirrup. Take your hand to the thigh, the right thigh, and turn the thigh out strongly. You might feel that the left thigh came forward, so press through the left heel to take the left thigh back. And now there's firmness. Firmness then allows the extension, so lift up to the side ribs and reach through the arms. Now I'm going to ask you to take a deep breath in, and on the exhale, reach out and up with that right arm. Lengthen the right side of the torso, go slow. Take your hand to the chair, left hand to the waist, or the block. Firm up the legs, and then roll this top shoulder back. Now, extend your top arm up, press through your right heel. Inhale, lift yourself up. Now, let's try that with motion. So just have the left hand on your waist, and then use motion to get extension in the right side wrist. So on an exhalation, reach out and up. Come down, and then reach out and up to come back up. Slow it first to build that steadiness, and then inhale, come back up. Several times on your own. Feel the firmness that's required in the legs to keep this motion and extension. Okay, pause. Now roll this top shoulder back. Take your hands to the top ribs. And notice, sometimes those ribs poke up. So take a breath in. And on the exhale, stretch this right side longer and move the ribs away from your hand. You might feel that in the groin of the same leg. And with this firmness and extension, top arm up, press through your right heel. Inhale, lift yourself up. Hands to the waist, turn the feet forward, and step the feet together. Okay, second side. Move your chair or block to the back right side of your mat. Start from Tadasana. Bend deep, step or jump your feet apart, hands to the waist. Turn your right toes in and the whole left leg out. Again, take that thigh, hand to the thigh, left thigh, turn the thigh out. Press through your right heel to take the right thigh back and feel the firmness. in the legs. Now lift up through the side ribs, reach through the arms, take a breath. On the exhale, reach out and up with that left arm. Lengthen the torso as you come down to the chair or the block. Top arm up, press through your left heel. Inhale, lift yourself back up. Okay, right hand to the waist. On an exhalation, with motion this time. Reach out and up. Lengthen the left side of your torso as you come down. And then inhale, lift that arm up to come back up. Several more times on your own. And then hand to the block. Now roll this top shoulder back, hands to the top ribs. Take a breath in. On the exhale, extend this left side longer. Take the ribs away from the hand. Get long, long, long in the left side waist. Top arm up. Press through your left heel. Inhale, lift yourself back up. Hands to the waist. Turn the feet forward. And step the feet together, Tadasana. Okay, our next pose, Parsvottanasana, intense side stretch. So I'm going to demonstrate this from the side, but you'll probably want to be facing the screen. If you don't have a chair, or you prefer to use a block, place the block below the chair seat, and notice my feet are right below the chair seat as well. Hands to the waist. Now step your left foot back and line up your heels. So what wants to happen is the hips want to open here. So we're going to practice getting the hips in alignment. So I'm going to press into my inner right foot and draw that right hip back, left hip forward. So you can do this with me. Press into your inner right foot, draw the right hip back. Now you might notice that back leg wants to bend. So press through that back heel to open up the back of your left leg. Now roll both thighs in towards each other and feel the firmness, the stira that comes. That now allows us to extend the side ribs, roll the shoulders back, and lift the sternum up. Now, maintain all of those actions, and on an exhalation, begin to come forward. Keep drawing that right hip back, left hip forward. And then hands to the chair seat. Now pause. Keep pressing through that back heel. Take a breath. On the exhalation, press and stretch your side ribs long, and press the chair away. Right hip back, left hip forward. Roll both thighs in towards each other. Now look forward if it doesn't strain the neck, and see what that does to the upper back. If you don't have a chair, you'll just have your hands on the waist, squeeze the elbows towards each other as you come forward. Okay? See if you can maintain the length in the side waist, and then take your left hand to the back of the chair seat, or if you don't have a chair, it'll be to the block. Take your right hand to the waist. Now we're going to go into Parivrita Trikonasana, revolve triangle pose. So I turn my rib cage, left ribs forward, right ribs back, as I roll this top shoulder back, and take a breath, head back. And now come forward, hands to the chair seat or to the waist, and step the back foot forward. Tadasana. Okay, second side. Step the right foot back, left foot forward. And let's do that work again to align the hips. Press into your inner left foot and draw that left hip back, right hip forward. Feel how that back leg wants to bend. Press through the back heel to open up the back of that knee. Now roll both thighs in towards each other and feel the stira come and the compactness of the hips. Now extend the side waist, lift the chest up. Notice when we have alignment, we feel steady. So from that steadiness, on an exhalation, begin to come forward. Left hip back, right hip forward. Hands to the back of the chair or squeeze the elbows towards each other if you don't have a chair. Exhale, press the chair away to get long in the side waist. Take a breath here, look forward. Feel the upper back moving in. And now we'll transition Parivrita Trikonasana. Take your right hand to the back of the chair seat, left hand to the waist. Take a breath. On the exhale, move from your right ribs to the left. Roll that left shoulder back and head back. Extend that top arm up if you're steady. And then turn the chest towards the ceiling. And then bring that top arm down. Hands to the chair seat or to the waist. And step the back foot forward. Tadasana. Okay. You can repeat, we're going to repeat this pose. You can repeat with the way that we just did. If the chair was nice and supportive and you want to repeat that, you can, or we'll use a block. So just watch me on this one. I'll demonstrate first and then we'll do it together. Line up the heels, square the hips. Now this time, I want to get extension, maximum extension in the side waist, just like we did in Utthita Trikonasana. So I extend this top arm up, and on an exhalation, I turn from the rib cage. Right ribs to the left, and reach out, reach out. Hand to the block. Now just watch. Sometimes we tend to bring the head forward. So I'm going to ask you to move the head back so you're more in line with the rest of your body. Hand can stay here back on the sacrum, or if you're steady, extend the top arm up and turn the chest. And then to come up, I'll pinwheel my arms to come up. So let's do that together, either with a chair or with a block. Step your left foot back, right foot forward. And now let's get that firmness in our base. So right hip back, left hip forward, lift the chest. Lift your left arm up. Now we're going to turn from the left ribs to the right. So take an inhalation, and on the exhalation, reach out. Reach out. Turn the rib cage until your hand comes to the block or the chair. And then reestablish the firmness in your base. Now observe where your head is in space and see if you can move the head back. Feel what that does to the chest. If you're steady, extend the top arm up. And turn any amount more. And then inhale, lift yourself up. Step the back foot forward. Second side. Now, step your right foot back, left foot forward. Line up your heels, and let's square the hips. Right hip back, left hip forward. Lift up through the chest. Roll both thighs in towards each other. And then let's get extension in the side waist. Lift your right arm up. Now, on an exhalation, turn from the rib cage. So exhale, right ribs forward, left ribs back, reach out until your hand comes to the block or the chair. And then roll that top shoulder back. Turn your right ribs forward, left ribs back. And then if you're steady, extend the top arm up or just keep the hand on the sacrum. More important that you turn the chest. So use an inhale and then exhale, turn, 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 head back. And then inhale and come up. Step the feet together. Okay. Now we're going to take Virasana. So I'm going to demonstrate with some height. So you may use a block or several blankets. Your heels are going to be apart, and then you're going to rest the buttocks onto something. Maybe you get to the floor. Maybe the block isn't enough, so you can take added height with a blanket. Okay, so another thing I'll show, when we come into the pose, see that you take your hands to the calf flesh and right behind the knees, move the calf flesh back and to the sides to create some space behind the knee as we come down. If the knees bother, you can do the next pose seated in the chair. Or you can take a belt behind the knee that bothers. So that's the bottom part of this pose. And now we'll do Gomukhasana arms in Virasana. So cow face pose arms. Have a strap, if you have one, and put it over the right shoulder. So we've practiced the firmness, the stira, and the steadiness of the intelligence as we turn. And now we're going to move into Sukham. So Sukham is the lightness of spirit. Lightheartedness is a good translation, or benevolence. So in order to feel lightness in our bodies, we have to lift the chest. So now we'll work on this armpit chest area. So I'm going to ask you to lift your right arm up and take the left hand and turn the tricep towards the face. And then bend the elbow, guide the elbow back, and then reach your left hand, palm facing back, reach around. Now you may clasp the hands, but if the hands don't reach, you can grab the strap and then walk your hands towards each other. If you don't have a strap, just grab your shirt. And now abdomen back, sternum lifting, reach up from the right armpit to the elbow. And then any amount, roll that left shoulder back. So if we have stiffness, sometimes any amount of movement is good. So any amount of movement there, and then feel right there where your hands meet or where the belt is. Move the upper back away from your hands, in and up. Good, and then release, second side. Okay, left arm up, take your hand to the tricep and turn the tricep towards the face. Bend the elbow, guide the elbow back, right hand, palm facing back, reach around. See if you can clasp the hands or grab the strap or your shirt. Walk the hands towards each other. And then back to the base. Press into your shins. Draw the abdomen back, but lift the sternum. Reach up from the left armpit to the elbow. And then any amount, any movement there, roll your right shoulder back. Take a breath and feel the openness of the chest or the lightness of the spirit. And then release. And now Slowly come forward, stretch out the backs of the legs one at a time. So reach through the heels and stretch through the heels. Open up the back of the knee. Okay. We're going to move to Adho Mukha Svanasana, downward facing dog. So this will be our first inversion. So I'll offer an alternative. If you have a wall space, take the short end of your mat to the wall. Or if you have a bookshelf or anything solid that you can take your hands into. If you don't, it's fine to just do this on the mat. So I'm going to take my thumb and the first finger on the wall, and then knees slightly behind the hips. I'll curl the toes under. So just watch me first and lift the legs up. So I use the wall to push into the wall and take my chest towards the thighs. At the same time, I'm going to maintain where my shoulders are and lift the hips and the heels up. So don't let the shoulders come forward, but lift the hips and heels, move your chest towards the thighs, and then slowly take the inner heels back down to the floor. Okay, so if you are doing Adho Mukha Svanasana, go ahead, take your hands to the wall. If you're not inverting, take a chair and a block. If you can take your feet to the wall, great. And then position yourself so that the balls of the feet touch the wall, heels on the floor. My legs are hip width apart, and I take a block and lift my arms up. So I'm getting the same extension that I would get in Adho Mukha Svanasana, and then I exhale and come forward. Touch the block to the wall, and then I move in phases. So stages, I roll my upper arms out and plug the arms into the socket. Okay? And then you'll come out the same way that you came in. So if you are in Adho Mukha Svanasana, downward facing dog, or you're in Paschimottanasana in the chair, everyone lift the chest up. Move your dorsal spine in, and then see, when you are experiencing Sukha, the brain is in a concentrated but relaxed and receptive state. Can the brain be receptive while the body is the doer? Okay, come down and rest, and then go back up. Adho Mukha Svanasana or Paschimottanasana in the chair. To remove stiffness, both in the mind and in the body, sometimes we need movement. So see if in one of these poses, if you can move the chest in a motion-like fashion. And then inhale, come up from Paschimottanasana or Child's Pose from Adho Mukha Svanasana. Take a breath. Okay, the next pose is Upavista. Oh, Sukhasana. We're going to go back to easy seated pose, crossing at the shins. Have a block. And we're going to move into the next few poses and stages. So first, we just start here and discover a little bit about our hip flexion. So take your hands to your feet, pull the feet in closer, and then have your block on one side. Lift your right arm up and get that same extension we've been working on. And then exhale, come down, touch the block. Okay, so you may do this several times and just see, can I get lower in stages? And then we'll do the same thing on the other side. If you're tighter in the hips and you want to try this in the chair, take one leg over the other, and then extend your arm up and reach down. So with motion, I'm going to observe both sides of my hips, okay? Now, you may think, this isn't a stretch for my hips, this isn't a flexion, so you can stay in one of these two positions. If you want to go further, I'm going to ask you to take your legs wide for Upavista Konasana. Now, if you find yourself sort of unable to lift the chest and roll onto the front of the sit bones, then give yourself a little height with a blanket or two under the buttocks. And if you use some height, get onto the very front edge of the blanket so that your sit bones are almost tipping off the front, and that will help to move the pelvis forward. Now take your hands behind you, lift up through the side ribs, and press your thighs down. So there's no light underneath the knees. You're trying to get the back of the knees to touch the floor. Be on the center of the back of the heels, so the toes point straight up, and keep the chest lifted. Okay, now walk your right hand behind you and lift your left arm up. So we're getting extension and the openness in the armpit chest area, and press your thighs down for that firmness and stability, that stirrup. And then exhale, reach out towards your right foot, towards the right foot. Use that motion to get deeper into that right hip. And then walk your left hand back behind you. Lift the right arm up. Press the thighs down. Take a breath in. Exhale, reach over towards that left foot. Reach in the direction of your left leg. Use that motion to observe the difference between the two sides. Not judging, just observation. Curiosity. And then now take a block on the inner right knee. And again, lift the right arm up. And now exhale, take the elbow down. And just like we did before, you might investigate at what height do I need a block on the right side. Sometimes, often, tightness can be an indicator of where we hold stress or negative emotions. So first, just go slow. Get a little deeper into that right hip, and to fully understand and work with intelligence. Second side. Left arm up. Press the thighs down. Reach through the heels. Exhale, come down. Lean into that hip. Lean into that hip. Elbow to the block. See if you can keep that long stretch of the side waist as you come down. Okay. Now, back to the first side, grab a belt. You can have a loop in the belt or just put the belt over your foot. Okay, so now we're going a little further. You can either repeat what we've done, or now we're going to add an open chest twist for Paririta Upavista Konasana. Okay, so again, you can just let the strap hang. Right arm up. Exhale, come down into wherever that block was most suitable for you. And then left hand to the waist. Okay, press into that right hip and then reach over, grab the strap. Now see, keep your thighs pressing down. Can I move this elbow forward? Can I now lean forward and lean back? Lean forward and lean back. Now hold in that back position. Maybe you walk your hand further down the strap. Maybe you can grab the inner foot. Now take a breath. On the exhale, move from your right ribs to the left to turn the chest towards the ceiling. And then reach this top arm up over towards the direction of your right leg. Turn, turn, turn the chest. Lean back. Nicely done. Yes, turn, take one more breath. Let the body be the doer and the brain the observer. And turn, turn, turn the chest. Now turn towards that leg. Take a breath. Inhale and come up. Second side. No two sides are the same, right? So your left hip, determine what height you need the block, and then take a strap over that foot. Let the strap fall. Lift your left arm up. Take a deep breath in, press the thighs down for that firmness, that groundedness in the pose. Extend your left arm up to get extension, and then exhale, elbow down to the block. Okay, lean into that left hip. Have the block at whatever height, or maybe on the floor. Grab your strap and walk your hand towards the foot. Now maybe you can bring the elbow slightly forward. Now use some motion to get into that stiffness. So go forward and then slightly back. Proceed with caution and slow at first. Okay? Movement, curiosity. Now, stay in that leaning back position and turn, just like we've been doing from the rib cage. Left ribs forward, right ribs back, lean back, take your top arm up over the ear, reach in the direction of your left leg. Turn, turn, turn the chest. Can your brain stay in a receptive, relaxed state as you breathe into this pose? And then turn towards that leg and inhale and come up. Very nice. Grab behind the knees, pull the legs in. And now we're going to really open the chest. So let's fully open the chest. This was a revolved opening of the chest in Parivrita Upavista Konasana. So take your block flat on the mat, and then I would like for you to lay over the block. I want the bottom tip of the block to hit the bottom tip of your shoulder blades. So see that as you lay back, that your inner shoulder blades are on the block. Now, you can use a second block or blanket to support the head if you need to, or you can extend the neck and then release the head back. Stretch your legs straight and then extend your arms up over the ears, palms facing each other. Now press the thighs down to be firm in your base and squeeze your upper arms towards each other. And now grab the elbows and extend from your armpits to the elbows to take the elbows down towards the floor. Feel the openness in the armpit chest. And now take your hands beside you, lift from the chest to come up. Now we'll turn the block up one. So you can repeat the way we just did, or turn the block up, still placing the block on the bottom tip of the shoulder blades. Again, you can support the head and neck with a second block or a blanket, or you can extend the back of the neck and then release the head down. Extend your arms up over your ears, palms facing each other. So now we've increased the height and we are increasing the stretch on this armpit chest area. To experience Sukham as you're laying there, the light within ourselves or connecting with our true nature, we must lift the chest. Grab the elbows, reach your elbows down towards the floor so we're still laying over the block. And extend your legs straight, press your thighs down, keep all of that groundedness as you reach the arms up over the head. Now, Mr. Iyengar used to describe Sukham when the intellect of the head is connected and in a reverence to the intelligence of the heart. That's Sukham. That's the benevolence of spirit. Can you feel that with the chest and arms in this position? Press your arms down and lift yourself up. One final time. You'll either repeat one of the two versions or take your block on the tall side. This time it's a little trickier to get the block right on the bottom tip of the shoulder blades. So place it carefully, stretch your legs straight, and you can again support the head with a second block or release the head and neck down towards the floor. Stretch your arms either with your arms straight or by holding the elbows. Now we've further intensified the stretch in the armpit chest area. Just let gravity do its thing. Let the elbows reach towards the floor. And then press your hands down and lift yourself from the chest. So these final two poses that we will do is a physical manifestation of asking the brain to take a backseat to the heart. So Setu Bandha Sarvangasana with a block. So just watch. Now we're taking the block in the same fashion we did behind the shoulder blades, this time underneath the sacrum. So first I lay on my, just watch me first, and then we'll do this together. I lay down on the mat and grab the edges of the mat, tuck my shoulders under. So I want to have my shoulders support me, not the bony part of my neck. So if you feel the bony part, the seventh cervical of your neck pressing into the floor, roll your arms under even more so that the shoulders are supporting you. And then feet in towards the buttocks, heels out to spread the lumbar. I press into my inner feet and lift up, place the block on the low side. And then I have a strap. I feed the strap behind the block and hold it with my hands, palms facing up. So watch as I press my arms down, how it automatically lifts the chest and I can roll my shoulders under even more. Okay, let's do this together. So lay on your back, grab the edges of your mat and tuck your shoulders under. Walk your feet in towards the buttocks and turn the heels out more than you think you need to. Now, feed the strap behind the block, press into your inner feet, and lift the buttocks up, place the block under the sacrum. Grab the strap, turn your palms up to help facilitate the inner arms rolling out. Now press your arms down to lift the chest up, and then press into your inner feet and lift your buttocks from the hamstrings. So contract the hamstrings, and now that chest is coming towards the chin. So the brain takes a back seat to the heart. Pressing into my inner feet, I lift the buttocks up and let that chest come towards the chin. And then release. Now I'm going to turn the block up one level. Again, press my arms down, lift from the hamstrings to lift the buttocks up. And now press into your feet. You may have to come onto the tippy toes. See if you can get that block on the tall side. Okay, if you're using foam blocks, you may need two to feel that stability in the sacrum. And now you can grab the block, or maybe in this position, you can interlace the fingers behind the block, and that helps facilitate the arms rolling under even more. Now, if you feel steady, you can add extending one leg up and then the other leg. Bent legs is fine. If you want to stay with your block in a low position, legs bent, you're still getting the work of the chest. So take a few breaths here and see if you can feel Sukham. Take your feet back down to the floor and then lift up one more time, remove the block and come down. Roll to the side and come up. Okay, last pose. I'm going to take my chair and we're going to repeat that pose with our legs lifted. So I'll give an alternative for those who are not inverting tonight or this morning. So I'm going to have my chair up against the wall and then a blanket folded in the seat of the chair. So I'll demonstrate this first, and then I'll demonstrate the alternative. Have a block. This time, I'm going to take my legs up onto the chair seat. So watch my demonstration. I'm close enough that I can hold the chair legs. And again, I tuck my shoulders under best I can in this position. Now I hold onto the chair legs and bring my feet to the front of the chair seat. Now this is a momentary awkward feeling when you press your feet down. Press your feet down into the chair as you hold onto the chair legs. And it feels steady once your feet are placed on the chair seat. I take my block to the sacrum, or two blocks if you have foam blocks, and then release the sacrum down. Take the soles of the feet together for Baddha Konasana. The outer feet rest on the blanket, and my hands can release. But I want to tuck my shoulders under as best I can to support the neck with my shoulders. To come out, I'll press my feet down, lift up, remove the block, and come down. Okay, if you're doing this version, go ahead and get started. Feet up onto the chair seat, hold onto the chair legs, and begin to press your feet down to lift the buttocks up. If you're not inverting, you will do this pose with leaned up against the chair, with the bottom tip of the shoulder blades hopefully near the seat of the chair. And then feet together in Baddha Konasana. And now, if you want to further extend, you can reach your arms back to the back of the chair and squeeze the elbows towards each other. And then release the head and neck if the neck is okay. You can also keep the head lifted. Press into your outer feet to extend the groins to the knees, to take the knees down. So be in this position for a moment and observe. Is there firmness and steadiness in the body? Is there steadiness in the intelligence of the head? Can you feel awareness and delight in the intelligence of the heart? And then slowly begin to come out of the pose. If your legs are on the chair seat, press your feet down, lift the buttocks up, remove the block, and descend the buttocks back down to the floor. Those of you in Baddha Konasana, seated Baddha Konasana, press the knees together and extend the legs straight. Okay, let's take Shavasana. So you can take whatever position you prefer. You can lay flat on the mat. You can have a blanket for the head. But either way, see that as you lay back, that you're centered on the back of the head and you're centered on your mat. Once you lay back, lift up and move your buttocks down towards the heels. Extend one leg and then the other, feet together, and then just let the feet fall to the side. Take your palms up, tuck each shoulder under, and then just release the arms and legs completely. Now this may be the hardest pose that we do all night, because this is where the mind wants to take over. So let us give the mind something to focus on. And let that be the breath. So in your Shavasana position, we must release everywhere completely. Release in between the eyebrows, release the jaw, release the tongue from the top of the mouth, so that the lips just barely touch. Let the arms and legs go completely. Let the abdomen be soft. Observe the rise and fall of the chest. Slow, steady inhalation. Never forcing the breath. Remember, let the body be the doer and the brain the observer. As you settle yourself into Shavasana, I'm going to read one last bit from Light on the Yoga Sutras. Yogis through time have realized that our feelings and emotions have a great deal of energy, which can be cultivated for our inward journey. And that by learning and practicing asanas, we can better understand and overcome the emotional disturbances and fluctuations of the mind, and achieve chitta-vritti nirodha, stillness and union with our own true nature. We're lucky to have a roadmap to follow in the Yoga Sutras, that in our pursuit of yoga, we can find firmness and steadiness in the body, goodwill in the intelligence of the head, so we can experience full awareness and delight in the intelligence of the heart.
Thank you so much for that wonderful session, uniting the mind, the body, the heart through yoga. Thank you so much, Joy. That was beautiful. We hope to see you again. As of our viewers, we thank you for attending the class and hope you enjoyed it. Our next webinar is on yoga for rehab it's supposed to be rebroadcasting next. Please visit our Facebook page and YouTube channels to watch it live. For more informative webinars and workshops that are being hosted throughout the month of June, please visit our website, www.aaymonline.org/yogacon-USA. Thanks, everybody, and have a wonderful evening and a wonderful day. Let's take our palms to our heart. Take a big inhale. Shanti, Shanti, Shanti. Thanks, everyone. Namaskar.
Thank you. Thank you very much. Beautiful.